Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Star Destroyer Gaming, back with some more Steel Division 2. Today we're going to be trying out the Death on the Vistula Army General campaign from the DLC. So, I completed Orsha, Brezina, Bobruisk, and Boronovici. The Vistula is the first DLC campaign we're going to be trying, and I've heard it's a bigger map. And just let me tell you about my first impressions. I'm very excited for this campaign. I'll be playing as Germans, and let's get right into it. So let's switch the team. Put the A out of hard. So Operation Bagration closes in on its ultimate goal. Having destroyed Army Group Center, the 1st Belarusian Front races ahead to prevent the Germans from reforming a strong defensive line. Overconfident in its own abilities, Stalin aims to capture Warsaw, blah 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 blah. Okay, so basically looking at what it says here, it's looking like the Soviets are going to be advancing in from one direction, trying to come in, take Warsaw, maybe secure this Vistula River line here, and at the same time, I'm going to have objectives to capture maybe, and I'll be pushing in the opposite direction, so there's going to be a lot of head-on engagements because, and I may have more tanks here than I'm used to because the Soviets always had a lot of tanks, but it looks like the Germans talk about 5 Panzer divisions, and then you can see under the German forces we have the 4th SS Panzer Corps, the it's 46th Panzer Corps, and elements of the group of Hartneck. The Soviets have the 2nd Tank Army, the mobile group of the 2nd Guards, 20th Army, 47th Army, 70th Army, and Polish People's Army. And that's very interesting because I'm looking forward to seeing some of these new DLC units kind of come into play in this campaign. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
After only 1 month, the carefully planned Operation Bagration was turning into an overwhelming triumph for the Red Army. The German Army Group Center had been destroyed, with the few surviving units and sparse reinforcements rushed to the wide-open front, unable to form a new defensive line. To make matters worse for the Wehrmacht, only half of Marshal Rokossovsky's mighty 1st Belarusian Front had been committed. Fresh troops were ready to spring into action for the next phase of the offensive, which aimed to attack the retreating Germans from 2 directions. On July 20th, the Soviet 2nd Tank Army crossed the Bug River into Poland, its eyes set on the main political prize of Operation Bagration, Warsaw, and with it a crucial bridgehead over the Vistula River. However, the Germans had no intention to give up the Polish capital without a fight. Mustering reinforcements from across the Reich, no less than 5 elite panzer divisions were ordered to converge on the critically important city. Greatly overextended and blinded by the trophy straddling the Vistula River, the Soviets failed to realize they were heading straight into a trap.
And that is a lot of Tiger tanks there. That's like 8 of them. There's a lot of firepower.
Echoing the counteroffensive at Kharkov, a deadly German armored attack was in the making, and at the right time would strike deep into the heart of an overconfident Red Army.
I like how they reused some game audio for this footage. The Soviet 1st Belarusian Front is closing in on Warsaw from 2 directions. Although 4th SS Panzer Corps managed to hold a corridor near Siedlce for the troops retreating from the southern road to Warsaw, it is virtually undefended. A major gap is open between the 4th SS Panzer Corps around Siedlce and the weak 73rd Infantry Division, which is all what prevents the Soviets from entering Warsaw. Powerful reinforcements are on their way. If we can hold the Soviets at bay long enough to mount a counteroffensive, when you can see here, we've got some of those new kind of DLC units being displayed, they will get the surprise of their life. One last but noteworthy detail, the Soviet Air Force seems to be at the limit of its range. Like in the old days, we will enjoy the benefit of air superiority. That's some historical accuracy right there, fellas. Your mission is to hold the key objectives at Siedlce, Radziemin, Minsk, Muralski, and Praga until August 8th. And we've got 23 turns, that's quite a while. Quite a long campaign here. Now this is odd because I'm used to seeing the campaign maybe this way, or this way, but it's almost like I'm from the Soviets' perspective here. And I'm sure it's their turn, so they're probably moving their pawns around right now. Quite a large front line here we got. We're gonna have to... They're attacking right off the bat, so we're gonna have to kind of engage some of these units here, and then, we'll get a better overall picture. We're gonna have to fight off, it looks like probably several attacks on the front line. So for here, we've got this motor rifle brigade, 2 motor rifle brigades. These are pretty small. They only have about 500 troops, and this small artillery group. So this shouldn't be too difficult to fight off, especially because these are pretty weak as well. Wow, this only has 12 artillery, 344. Should not be too difficult. So let's give this a go. Hoping the Soviets will kind of throw themselves against my lines here, and then I'll be able to kind of give them a bloody nose, and then before they're just going to keep attacking because it's the AI, and then hopefully when they're at the limit of their strength, they're able to launch a big counterattack with armor that I'm able to build up throughout those turns. So let's take a look here. Motor rifle brigades like we expected, and the bomber regiment, which I did not expect, so we're just going to have to just play this and just probably be bombed periodically, but hopefully they'll focus on the bunkers. A lot of the time, the AI uses their bombers, they just like to strafe, and so we'll see. It probably won't be too bad. But let's just let's get our bunkers up. Key with this is just to hit the AI right when they're coming out of their spawn, because on these spawn roads, before they can form up and deploy out like they're expected to be able to. Just trying to get this, get that angle right down this road. Let's move it up here. The line of sight tool is just tremendous. You'll be able to hit that road and somebody cover this bunker's flank. Let's go ahead and put a 37mm gun there. That'll kind of cover those crossings. Another one here. They have a lantern here, but normally they like to stick to the more center routes, but we'll see. See which way they spring. Here, and then one more bunker kind of here to cover these 2 roads. And let's put down the machine guns. Let's put one. I always like to put a bunker kind of right here, just facing this, because it's going to help cut up those infantry that are going to try to flank the bunker. Cover that field here, and this as well. And then this area. And then let's get our... Let's see here, we got a good amount of artillery, so let's just go ahead and start getting our recon down. There's only 1, so we only have 2 recon guys. So let's see here, let's try to get those out, kind of spaced out accordingly. Let's go put this guy right here. Good field of view for him. And then fortunately we do have a few extra guns, so we'll be able to kind of use those to supplement the defenses here. See this, these are going to be very vulnerable to bombers. Go ahead and get some guys here. I'm going to use these leaders to kind of buff up these bunkers here, so they can achieve kind of a better rate of fire and more accuracy. Here is a good spot to put some more defenses in. See, and for some reason they don't let these machine gun teams get into the bunkers, which is very odd to me, but that's how it's designed. Alright, let's see here. Get a couple more there. Get infantry kind of lining up. Fortunately, we have lots of machine guns, and we can use those to kind of cover these approaches here. Because this town tends to get just... A lot of infantry tend to come from this area, kind of cross here, and make their way into the town. I'm pretty confident in my guys' ability here to kind of break them down before they get too close. Let's go ahead and just put some mortars here as well. We'll get a leader here. This gun, anti-tank gun. This guy. Pioneers are probably the best thing here for this kind of close quarters woods engagement. And let's see if we can get another assault gun. Can. Let's kind of stick that right there. And I think that we are in good shape. So let's get this party started. Already kind of seeing some of those units there. Our air's coming in. Who will get the first kill? Maybe this guy. Oh, there we go. Destroyed. Got 2 of those knocked out. And here we go. Right as expected, they're going to use their bombers to try to, and yep, they're strafing it. Try to suppress those bunkers and keep them from shooting up too much of this infantry here. Just not going to work out too well for them. Just gotta make sure these leaders aren't wiped out by these bomb loads that are coming down. Because the bunker's gonna take it, but the infantry can't.
Marschpause.
Alright, and a lot of them looked to have disembarked over here. They're taking these jeeps under fire. PTRD teams. PE 283s. Doing their thing. Let's get some artillery up.
Haben Sie Zielkoordinaten, Hauptmann?
And there we go. Looks like we knocked out this truck that was coming up, and it doesn't look like they're trying to bring up any more guys here, but they might be running trucks just around here right now while they kind of figure out what to do. Sadly, there's no MKVD. That would really help them push up and keep them under the guns for longer, but as it is, they're kind of withdrawing almost right away, which is not really letting me have a good chance to take them out. This area is coming under mortar fire here, and this gun is pretty soft, so I'm going to try to pull that up so it doesn't get knocked out, because they'll probably leave that. Because this is not the first time this area is going to be attacked, so we're going to think the long term in terms of preserving these units. Let's have these guys kind of get up so they can use their machine guns. And the 50 mils down. Fortunately, I put this thing's range is a little short, but I should have moved it up a little bit. Oh, there we go. We got Avamachiki. That is a perfect engagement range for them right there. That kind of short range stuff. And it looks like we're going to have a lot of infantry trying to kind of force their way into these woods here. So let's get some mortars up and running. You guys go ahead and just fire away. It doesn't really matter. I like having my artillery just on auto fire because it kind of lets me focus on that important micro a little bit. This thing's out of HE shell, so let's just move it back to you.
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung. Jawohl, Kommandant. Impulswaffen und Munition. Vorwärts, aber schließt die Flanken.
You know, a lot of these guys are having cheeky, so if we can cut them up before they get close, that'd be just excellent. Let's kind of unload these and have
Feind
them start
direkt vor
firing.
eigener Stellung.
Let's get another artillery battery running right here.
Pack zur Stelle.
We're gonna move this down the woods.
Gardeschütze.
These bombers can't find
Panzergranate
him.
bereithalten. Man kann nie wissen. Hauptmann.
Those have been cheeky, are getting kind of close.
Ah, es hat mich erwischt.
Mann aller Einheiten. Feind gesichtet.
We fall back in a moment.
Verdammt. Es hat mich erwischt.
Das hat gesessen.
Let's go ahead and kind of keep setting up this battery here. And then we're going to need some supplies coming up, so let's keep all these orders in business and these artillery pieces.
Wir stehen unter starkem Beschuss.
IG is down somewhere. Over here, I believe. This one. Knocked out.
Sanitäter! Vorwärts, aber schließt die Flanken. Bereit, Herr Hauptmann.
Look at that, they love hitting this gun here.
Verdammt. Es hat mich erwischt.
So I'm glad I'm going to move this kind of shorter range. I'm glad I'm moving that thing into cover. So they love
Impulswaffen und
seeing that.
Munition.
Mann aller Einheiten. Feind gesichtet.
These guys are going to be running machine gun ammo for too long.
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung.
Let's get some more artillery up. Let's get some supply trucks out for these guys.
Haha, das hat gesessen. Feind in der Nähe. Beschützt die Artillerie. Jawohl. Der ist hinüber.
Fire will.
Jawohl, Kommandant.
I'm gonna move these guys back in a moment. We're gonna go and run. Let's pause and get an MG42 down here. Let's get those kind of other two arty pieces out that I was wanting. And then finally, let's get some infantry out as well. And then assault gun. One of the big ones this time.
Weder Freund noch Feind. Nur lohnende
Bolts in that little
Ziele.
bunker there. Look at that, I got, looks got knocked out one of their mortars.
Wir haben
Not sure
keine
how I can
Geschosse
see that
mehr.
though, but
Die Gruppe erwartet ihre Befehle.
there they go. They're gonna start hitting those.
Zu Befehl, Kommandant.
And it looks like they just released their bombs from quite a distance away, so really the only way to take them down is probably with 88 mils or, you know, the fighters.
Wir sind leer geschossen. Feind in der Nähe. Beschützt die Artillerie.
Unload these guys.
Die Gruppe erwartet
Move
ihre
these
Befehle.
back, especially because their guns are out of ammo.
Der ist hinüber.
Not sure where I lost that
Zieh den Arsch an, Hans.
infantry team. Oh, yeah, that'll be why. This is bombers.
Feind in der Nähe.
These guys
Beschützt
can
die
kind of go up and
Artillerie.
replace them. See if we got more artillery we can bring up. I don't think we do. Let's move to another supply truck here, just because these are going to be firing for most of the game. And yeah, let's just get some recon out. This gun isn't really much use. It's only got the AP shells. Get some more infantry out there. And let's get some 120 mil mortars out in this town here. Let's get some more infantry as well. Leader would be good. I'll put some pioneers here.
Lass mich raus! Ich will da raus! Lass mich
These guys are going to be out of that MG34 ammunition here in a moment.
Was sollen wir
Oh,
ohne
they're going for the
Munition
bombers.
machen?
Alright.
Wir stehen unter starkem
Not a
Beschuss.
lot I can do about that considering that they've got all their air recon in there. I can't really knock out any recon specifically to avoid that.
Der ist hinüber. Wollen Sie mitfahren? Wir gehen bis zum Äußersten, Kommandant. Feind in der Nähe.
That
Beschützt die
Jeep guns don't
Artillerie.
work here.
Taxi bereit.
Let's go ahead
Hoffentlich
and
schießt
have
niemand
the
auf uns.
FG hunt up to that position. That'll help take care of these guys first.
Jawohl.
Wir sind blank geschossen.
Move these guys up.
Reiter Hauptmann.
These guys are kind of kicking in as well with their weapons. A lot of Strelke coming in.
Lanzer zur Stelle.
Let's get another battery of these running here.
Achtung, Feind im Nahbereich. Was sollen wir ohne Munition machen?
Let's not blow that.
müssen wir raus.
Right there.
Lass mich raus! Ich will nach Hause! Lass mich gehen! Ah, es hat mich erwischt! Achtung, der Feind ist in der Nähe.
Let's see here, I
Sanitäter!
lost an MG42. This guy's out of ammo,
Kommandant.
so let's get a supply check up to him. And while we're at it, we can also go ahead and get another
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung.
mortar battery running in this town here.
Ziel vernichtet.
Supply check.
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung. Was sollen wir ohne
Lost an
Munition
Opel
machen?
Blitz.
Zieh den Arsch an Hand.
Wir können nicht mehr.
See, it doesn't look to me like their ground forces have managed to get really any of my men
Seid
yet.
vorsichtig, Kameraden.
Verdammt, es hat mich erwischt.
It's those bombers that just keep nailing these
Jawohl,
guys.
Kommandant.
I see where I lost the
Zieh den Arsch an Hand.
unit there.
Auf, Soldaten. Volle Deckung.
These guys are out of ammo, so let's pull it back to
Ohne
here.
Tritt, Marsch. Wir sind leer geschossen.
Those guns can just keep firing right till they run out of fuel. I mean, out of fuel, out of ammunition.
Ziel vernichtet. Zur Stelle, Hauptmann. Hier fliegt bald alles in die Luft. Wie lautet Ihr Befehl, Hauptmann?
These guys start
Feind in
firing.
der Nähe. Beschützt die Artillerie.
Let's get a supply check up for these guys.
Sanitäter!
Let's just get another one here.
Hoch auf dem gelben Wagen.
And these guys come well equipped with mortars, that's for sure.
Der ist hinüber.
These guys I flipped a
Artillerie
while
zu
ago.
Diensten. Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung.
And I don't think we're gonna bring any more reinforcements. I think we're just gonna go ahead and wait.
Ruhe, herhören.
They must be going for the army.
Ziel vernichtet.
Not a lot you can do about that.
Wir stehen unter starkem Beschuss. Haben Sie Zielkoordinaten, Hauptmann? Infanterie bereit. Absitzen, sofort. Warten auf Feuerkoordinaten.
This MG here's a lot of ammo.
An alle Einheiten. Feind gesichtet.
Weder Freund noch Feind. Nur lohnende
They're
Ziele.
really having trouble making much of an impact here.
Wir sind leer geschossen.
Let's go for that supply truck.
Wir sind hier ein leichtes Ziel.
Oh, the gun.
Ziel vernichtet.
Lost some grenadiers there to those bombers.
Zieh den Arsch an, Hans! Feuer bereit. Feind in der Nähe. Beschützt die Artillerie. Sanitäter!
Love the design of these. They're not the most practical, but kind of like a World War I tank. They just got machine guns just poking out of the sides here.
Zieh den Arsch an, Hans!
You know, in every direction. I keep losing. BZS squads to those bombers.
Jawohl, Herr Hauptmann.
Oh, I lost the unit I was moving across here. And these guys died to a mortar fire.
Bajonette aufpflanzen.
Makes me think I might just want to shut down all my already.
MG-Trupp zur Stelle.
Keeps those bombers from hitting them.
Wir begeben uns zur Koordinate. Klar zum Gefecht, Herr Kommandant.
And these guys go.
Zieh den Arsch an, Hans! Feind im Nahbereich. Feuer bereit. Vorwärts, Männer, aber schießt erst auf mein Kommando. Geschossen.
Those guys can blaze away into that bunker all day. If they like.
Jawohl, Kommandant. Nach hinten
Man just gotta fall
ausweichen.
back. No decent having him dying here in the last
MG-Trupp
minutes.
zur Stelle.
Huh.
Zur Stelle.
Wow, they don't like those guys, do they?
Weder Freund noch Feind. Nur lohnende Ziele.
Noted.
Ziel vernichtet.
Wir sind festgenagelt.
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung.
Lost an MG somewhere.
An alle Einheiten.
These are just
Feind
getting
gesichtet.
carpeted this whole game.
Weder Freund noch
We have just 1
Feind.
minute left, so we're gonna
Nur
speed this up.
lohnende Ziele. Wir stehen unter starkem Beschuss.
Just got
Geschütz
back,
bereit, Herr
got a line of
Kommandant.
sight.
Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung. Wir sind hier ein leichtes Ziel. Warten auf Feuerkoordinaten.
So we're gonna be facing
Herhören.
a major defeat there, but I do want to make this a total defeat, and I have to cut that down to 3 flags, so
Zieh den Arsch an, Hans.
where we can, I'm gonna have my guys kind of
Vorsichtig,
move up.
Männer. Der Feind ist in der Nähe. Feind in der Nähe. Beschützt die Artillerie.
Can I capture those extra points?
Ah, es hat mich erwischt.
Particularly this one. Alright, we got that down to a total defeat. It's a pretty good first round. Just look at the team stats here, 21 to 69. Looking at the kills, these bunkers did a lot of it here, knocking out them, especially in that first rush. And then a lot of my artillery as well, and then looking at our losses, it's almost all from bombers. Virtually all of it. So let's take a look at the end stat sheet. Pretty happy with that exchange of, pretty happy with that exchange there. Hopefully this is going to be disorganized. They are. They're shifting their guys up. Now looking at this, I got this big gap in my lines here. I'm going to have to close. Restore this river line here. And generally trying to hold my ground. Looks like they might be weak here. Look at the rear area. I mean, they've got the city here. Lukao, Putoe, and this must be their airfield. So I wonder if they'll be attacking again this turn. And from here we got one of those big armored columns of reinforcements here. It looks like here's the other one. Okay, let's see here. We've got... They're still moving their guys around. Looks like. They must have a lot of pawns back there, I'm telling you. Let's look at the kind of stats here. We've got 1% of 13 soldiers to 569. And that tells you something about the strength here. That I've lost 1%, that's 13, and they lost 569, that's 1% of them. So, really got to kind of step it up here. I mean, this, you know, every battle's got to be like that if I'm going to come out on top here. Especially if I'm going to counterattack toward this area, like the Führer wants me to. Toward here, here. This is a pretty important crossroads. A lot of the units, I'm sure, are coming out from here and being funneled out to this area and this area. So those road hubs are pretty important. Okay, and we've got under attack again. So let's take a look here. Fusilier Battalion. Fortunately, I've got these A-phase units that are ready to go. Fusiliers have got this kind of close range HE, which is fine, and they're entrenched. So let's see, they've got this A-phase infantry here. They probably have this coming in for support. And these are some pretty big artillery pieces here. This is 152 mil stuff here, so looking at what they got here, I'm considering bringing in some aircraft. Because they can only bring in 2 battalions here, and the AI likes to fill its roster up, and so they'll probably do that by adding aircraft. I don't really know how many planes the Soviet has, so it's likely they're going to bring in planes. So I'm going to bring in... well, this recon group, I'm going to need them to kind of scout here, because I don't really know how many guys are here, if they're here or here. And my lines are just empty here, so those recon planes are going to be pretty useful for this at least first turn here. Let's see, we got Stukas, bombers, heavy bombers, fighters, and recon, so wish you could see what kind of things I can bring in these later phases here. Let's not engage the fighters. Let's just have this artillery kind of try to counter battery that cannon. And if there's an air attack, there might be, but we're just gonna go through it. Take it. Okay, looks like they didn't bring in planes after all, so I've just got the advantage here in infantry at least, but they do have that artillery, so let's go ahead and set up the guns on this side here. Let's put a gun here. That's going to help us see this road here, this road's covered, and part of this as well. So that's really an ideal spot here. And otherwise, let's put a 37 mil here. Not really too worried about tanks, because I don't think they've got anything like that. That'll nail anything coming down that road. Same for this. We just have to kind of prevent that from getting flanked. Machine gun cover that area. Let's get another 37 mil to cover this lower road approach here. Because whenever these guys are going to come around that bend, this thing will be able to hit them. Let's go ahead and put another gun right about here. Help cover this, just in case anything does get past our infantry. Speaking of infantry, let's put that up. Let's set this up here with another gun. Might just put another 50 mil pack here just to get that like double fire effect. No, its range is too short. Maybe I could hit the road here. I could. That's probably what I'm going to set up here. And beyond that, machine guns are pretty important. And let's get this last 75 mil pack out. Just in case something gets through. We'll set it up kind of right here. And that'll hit anything that comes over the hilltop. As it comes down, it'll cover this road a little, and this area as well. And it's nice because these infantry here can, do have the recon ability, but of course they also can't influence the terrain. And it's funny, I mean these guys don't have Alpha Claudio, of course, but these guys do. And I'm going to send them here right away. I can get a view here, so I can get that effective counter battery in. And let's get some mortars up and running here, and that'll help with these mortars shoot those big artillery pieces they are going to set up. Good infantry to buff this bunker here. Good infantry here to buff these troops I'm going to be setting up here. Here and here. Let's have some guys hold this area, these 3 buildings. Put guys up here. Machine gun here to cover this kind of rear area. And then just lots of Panzer Grenadiers. And I really want to get some good recon in. Kind of here, so I can kind of see, again, this land route, even though this is going to be pretty well screened from my observation. No planes, unfortunately. But we do have these big guns, so... Machine gun never hurts. More recon never hurts. And let's get some more infantry out here. Go ahead and get more out. And these guys are going to get up here and cover this field. Fusilier. Just in case they get up on this ridge. You know, this thing could cut them up at short range here, and then leaders help buff that accuracy a little, especially if I'm going to be doing counter battery. Okay, let's get this show on the road. I'm gonna unload here, because I'll probably be able to spot the vehicle. Let's move these up. Put these guys on fire at will right away. Let's move this guy here.
Zur Stelle, Hauptmann. Wir machen Halt.
Na dann mal los, Leutnant.
And look at that, we are getting rounds out on target already, knocking these guys out right here. And there, we got some of the big artillery right there, I think. Oh, just kidding, that's a 76 mil.
Mehr Feuerkraft gefällig?
Just target that.
Ziel zerschlagen. Wie lauten Ihre Befehle?
Move those up. Make sure these guys are all in the
Jawohl,
buildings
Kommandant.
here.
Packt zusammen und dann los. Hört! Auf, Soldaten!
Let's move them up here.
Wie
Move
lauten
these
Ihre
guys
Befehle?
up. Move these up.
Achtung! Wir nähern uns dem Feind, Herr Kommandant.
And we're just going to spend the rest of this game here really getting this artillery up and running.
Sanitäter!
Klar zum Gefecht, Herr Kommandant.
Wow, look at that. There's some big guns they got
Was
going.
können wir für Sie tun?
They got running there.
Ziel zerschlagen.
Whoa. And that's coming from right over here somewhere. It's got like a across the map range going on. And let's see, let's just have these
Ja,
fire well.
Kommandant.
Gute und Ersatzrohr bereit.
Just gonna shift these a little.
Sanitäter!
Love with the visuals, so you can kind of see the gunpowder smoke coming up and all that. These are snipers. You can tell by that cape that one's wearing. Just the Betty. What are y'all firing at?
Artillerie zu Diensten.
Oh, good. Just got a commandant out there as well. Or already. Now these guys disembarked fast, so these bunkers didn't really put in the firepower I was expecting them to here, and they're disembarking. They kind of got the message that I got all these roads covered.
Speer bereit. Feind gesichtet. Ziel auffassen.
Just stunning game visually, you can see.
Mehr
These are those
Feuerkraft
big
gefällig?
152 mil
Ziel
guns.
zerschlagen.
Let's try to focus on that. There we go. Nice.
Keine Vorkommnisse.
Wow, look at all those mortars these guys come with. Wow, wow, wow.
Wir sind
Let's
leer
set those up here.
geschossen. Feind direkt vor eigener Stellung.
Donned.
Siegpunkt erreicht. Raus mit euch. Transportkommando bereit.
Feind gesichtet. Ziel auffassen.
Ruhe. Herhören.
Hopefully I can knock out more than a few of those 152 mil guns.
Versorger bereit.
Feind gesichtet. Ziel auffassen.
Ah, es hat mich erwischt.
Let's turn this off to make sure that these
Infanterie bereit.
75 mils can sink their shots in, because when they come under fire, these guys tend to just jump out,
Sanitäter!
and you can't kill them all at once that way.
Zweiter Zug einsatzbereit.
Wir müssen hier raus.
Verdammt! Es hat
Despite
mich
this
erwischt!
recon I have out, I cannot see in those guns real well.
Speer zur Stelle.
Wir können nicht mehr.
Let's get these guys
Bereit für den
unloaded,
Transport.
firing.
Verdammt! Es hat mich erwischt!
Get another battery there. there.
Waffen und Munition. Weder Freund noch Feind. Nur lohnende Ziele.
Just
Ziel
retask
vernichtet.
these, make sure they know to shoot at those
200 abbrechen.
bunkers there,
6
those
Schuss.
guns.
Ende.
There's a lot of infantry. These are all at Machiki, I think. Most of them.
Sanitäter!
Or not. So it's nice to see that Machiki just try to charge your
Der
lines
ist
head on.
klar. Zur Stelle, Hauptmann.
Because you're able to just empty those machine guns into whatnot before they
Ziel
get
zerstört.
anywhere.
Hört. Vorsichtig, Männer. Der
These
Feind
are all
ist
fully
näher.
engaged now.
Deshalb Unteroffizier Stein erwischt.
There's that Machiki, you're getting real close.
Ziel vernichtet. Überprüft Waffen und Munition. Deshalb Unteroffizier Stein
Trying to
erwischt.
overpower him.
Genau die Ihre Befehle.
Let's have these guys fall back.
Wir
I don't
müssen
want them
hier
to be lost.
Feind gesichtet. Ziel auffassen.
Or as soon as possible.
Ich habe hier das
Not sure how that
Kommando.
happened. That's very interesting. Was not
Na
expecting
dann
that.
mal los, Leutnant.
And we might just need some more infantry here, so let's just pack it in. And get those other mortars out.
Wollen Sie mitfahren? An dieser Position müssen wir raus.
Just unloading here.
Sofort.
Start shooting.
Das hat gesessen. Wie wäre es mit Trommelfeuer? Der ist hinüber.
Alright, alright, alright.
Gut und Ersatzrohr bereit. Ziel zerstört. Spähtrupp bereit. Überprüft Waffen und Munition.
Definitely figured out where those guys are.
Verdammt, es hat mich erwischt.
Another one of those big old
Geschützt
mortars
bereit, Herr
there.
Kommandant.
No point shooting though until it stops. Get some of those
Es hat
mortars out.
Unteroffizier Stein erwischt. Feind gesichtet.
And after this, we're gonna start moving in some supply trucks.
Brauchen Sie
Look
ein
at
paar
that.
Augen und Ohren, Kommandant?
Good on you, Aufklade. Good on you there.
Wir gewinnen diesen Krieg. Das ist ein Befehl.
Just village being hammered here. Still Hamlin.
Haha, das hat gesessen. Stehen
Time to
bereit.
go. These guys got here just in time, I think.
Abblitzen, sofort.
Wir sind bereit, Herr Kommandant.
Bei erkanntem Feind, Feuer frei. Taxi, dort müssen wir hin. Infanterie bereit. Ohne Tritt, Marsch!
Let's move these back out of the line of fire.
Brauchen Sie Deckungsfeuer?
Ziel vernichtet. Feind direkt zur eigener Stellung.
And look at this, we're keeping them down to just one flag, so this game won't last much longer.
Wie wäre es mit Trommelfeuer? Wir machen Halt.
Had sight of that mortar for a second.
Ziel zerstört. Die Munition ist aus.
Let's just push these guys up right through
Jawohl,
here.
wird gemacht.
This machine gun set up here.
Sehen wir uns hier um.
Y'all better get out of there.
Was können wir für Sie tun?
Alright. Total victory there. We got 2 losses there, and 32 points a kill. Let's take a look at the end screen. And this confuses me, because sometimes it doesn't tally those units, but this looks good to me. Took out one of those big guns and just this, but definitely wore down their infantry there. And let's see if they're going to get another attack this turn. Man, they must have so many pawns back there. It's incredible. And let's look at those kills again. So, look at that. 765 is 1% of their losses. 765, 1%. Wow. And it looks like it's my turn. We've got this, the Fallschirmpanzer Hermann Göring. And it looks like not that many reinforcements, so what you got is kind of on the table. And Luftwaffe fighters, that's good. That's the number one thing I need. And bombers, it's okay. So yeah, not a lot of reinforcements really, but we're going to have to decide now what to do with this turn. So, let's see here. Yeah, well, let's see what we can do about these disorganized units here and just test the waters with an attack. Now, these guys are all stuck here on this kind of... Well, let's save real fast. For the lettuce, that is. I don't know if everyone else gets this bug where there's the save screen just takes like 15-20 seconds to load up. Very odd. Alright. Alright. So we've got these motor rifle brigades here. And let's try to use these dug-in guys to attack here, because they normally keep their dug-in status. And it looks like I'm still learning the mechanics of Steel Division 2 here a little bit, the Army General. But I know that it was on artillery, they can't interact in the A phase, and you can just wipe them out. So we're going to just try to do that to these disorganized troops that are stuck here. At this phase, at this point, there's nothing that can get them, but might be able to knock out these as well with these Fusiliers, even though that will put them kind of outside of my lines. And again, nothing in the A phase that can intervene, so we're going to knock them out as well. And kind of push these guys to the side. And they're going to relentlessly attack this salient here, especially with these tanks. They're probably next turn they're going to come with this AAA and all these tanks here and just trying to come in and do as much damage as possible, but it's worth it to see. Okay, we're at 3% of losses, so 13 men to 2,283. As long as we can keep that kind of KD up, I think we're going to be in good shape. We'll try to keep that going there. So let's see here where we can move some of our pawns. This Panzer Grenadier Regiment. It's pretty weak, so I'm going to move this kind of here, and I'm going to use these guys to kind of secure this river line here. This is kind of my flank. I don't think there's any units on this side of the river, but I want to make sure. I'm not sure about fording. I think ford the rivers. And all that. And here, again, let's do the same thing and start to move this, cut this back, because let's just try to move down the river here and see if we can see. And maybe, you know, I'll bring in some reinforcements behind it and try to get a strike group here to grab this airfield and dig themselves in around it. And for here, let's get that air recon out so we can see what's what over this big ol' section here. Not as many as I thought. Let's see, we've got this Moto Battalion. Tanks, about 150 tanks. So not too bad. Totenkopf, that's from... Oh, and here you can see these are some of those new units. Now, I thought I saw before, if you look up here, this is a new pawn right here, that new look, so that's pretty cool to see. With the Gorillas and the Jagdpanzer Force. So let's start moving. Let's just start from this side of the map and move all our guys down. Can't really go wrong with moving these guys down, because they gotta get on the side of the river here to start engaging those enemies. Now this 534th Infantry Division, interestingly, does not have the ability to dig itself in, so that's odd. That's odd to me. But, you know, whatever. Let's get this AA up. Probably want to deploy it, like, maybe right here-ish. Just kind of intercept any planes or whatnot. These guys can dig themselves in, so I'm going to kind of push them up to here. Here. And this artillery out to here. Oh, I just moved this infantry. Oh well, that's fine. They're still going to have to hit these first. And let's move this here to kind of buff this area. Let's dig these in. All Hussars. Yeah, I love the Hungarian units. These are dug in. Let's move these up to a little support. Better. Same here. Let's get these guys as close to across as we can. I just think the IL-2s would love to strafe this bridge here. This thing is just packed with columns and columns of vehicles headed down. Battle group someone nicked. Interesting. And those are the Panthers. Okay, so we've got this taken care of. Let's dig these guys in ASAP before these guys start coming in. They got some of this, gonna prevent my units from interacting. These are not dug in. But let's see if I can just start cramming in some extra arty here. This tank destroyer group will be desperately needed. I'm going to try to move it in behind this to help it out. As well as these guys here. They're going to have to dig in. And let's get this artillery right up behind them so they can get that field of fire as much as possible in this area. Move those as kind of behind it as support. Let's get this artillery down here. These are just, I've just got so much reserve infantry here. This is like Orsha levels of preparedness. Insane. And this group here, I'm going to start moving over, because these guys are going to have to just start digging in and absorbing this enemy threat here. So I'm going to have to move all these here. Move them over. Well, just head them off, you know. And hopefully close up that gap as soon as possible. And these column will do the other part of that by coming in here, sealing this, maybe even pushing back. I've got this A group here. Let's move this down. This is the perfect spot for it, covering this whole area. Some of these units are actually pretty small. There's just 12 tanks here compared to the 45 here, you know, so let's, I would have to kind of engage these units all at once for them to have a chance. So start moving these guys down as far as they can go. This higher really helps them move fast. Does Soviets have any highways? They do not. Well, this is Warsaw. This is one of the major cities. It's the Polish capital, so it makes sense. Just Keep these guys moving. Recon Panzer Battalion with Lukes. Yep. Fast, speedy boys. Look at them go. So proud of them. Cannot wait to have some of these come into action. They've got that thick frontal armor, 130 mil, and that high penetration main gun. It's almost it's almost a Tiger, except for obviously you can't rotate the gun. It's or really I should say it's a strong Stug. All right, and let's start moving these guys up here. These here into positions that will head this off, because actually now I look at it, they do have this highway here that runs through here, which is so important. And I don't know how I didn't see that highway before, but I can see now all their units are going to be coming back and forth along here, and that's why they want to take this area so bad. And why I can't let them have it, because that'll let them move their forces just real fast from one side of the front line to the other. And this rail link here is vital, so I should be taking that as quickly as possible. It might be about 3 turns before I can get there, maybe even 4. Fusiliers here. Do I dare move them up this far? I do. I think it'll probably be fine. If not, I believe they can just retreat. And I say highway, but it's just an asphalt road. And let's move these guys into these woods here. And that's a good spot for them. And this is, I do have this weak spot, but so do they right here. They have a weak spot here and here. These are spearheads, same as mine. As long as I'm aware of that, I can start exploiting them. Let's move this group here. Let's start moving these. This is perfect. This tank destroyer group can support these Fusiliers while they dig themselves in. And I'll start moving these infantry down. This unit, these 3, and this artillery group will I'll kind of use them to push down the river. And these engineers. And with this artillery, I'm going to push these up to here. And yeah, this unit here actually will also be able to converge. Wow. Those go quite far. And yeah, let's just get these guys, just keep it moving. The vanguard of the HG, the Hermann Goering. Yeah, really, these guys can be here, but I really want them to be here. And the remnants of the 80th AA Regiment. So let's move them kind of here and deploy them. Let's see, and I do have these extras. Let me just check everywhere. Make sure I've got nothing else that needs doing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think that'll be it. This will be that first episode of the Death on the Vistula campaign. Next video, we're gonna pass this turn here, and probably absorb some Already army attacks. But eventually down the line here, once we kind of thinned out there, obviously large numbers, we can think about counterattack. And looking at this, you think from the math, you could calculate this, extrapolate what their total forces are. But I'm not going to bother doing that. It's just, I know if I can keep this KD up, if I can keep a 13 to 283 KD up, I think we'll be doing alright. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Stardust Gaming, signing off.